There are decisions no one sees. They don't appear in photos, they don't receive applause, there are no witnesses, no background music, no one saying, that was the right thing to do. But those decisions are the ones that define who you are when everything else falls apart. This is the story of Tomás. Tomás wasn't famous, he wasn't rich, he wasn't important to anyone special. He was a city bus driver, an ordinary man, with an ordinary life, and days that looked almost exactly the same. For 20 years, Tomás drove the same route. The same streets, the same traffic lights, the same tired faces every morning. He knew the city by heart. He knew who always arrived late, who paid with exact change, and who counted coins with shame in their eyes. Tomás lived alone. His wife had passed away years earlier. His children had grown up and moved far away. The bus wasn't just his job, it was his structure, his routine, his way of not feeling completely alone. He had never been late, never caused problems, never stood out. Until, an ordinary morning, an elderly woman stepped onto the bus. She moved slowly, her coat was worn. Her hands trembled as she counted the coins in her palm. She stopped at the entrance. "I don't think it's enough," she said quietly. Tomás watched her through the rearview mirror. He didn't sigh. He didn't roll his eyes. He didn't make a show of kindness. He simply said, "Come in, it's okay." The woman hesitated. "I don't want to get you in trouble," Tomás replied calmly. "There won't be any trouble. Today, we all get where we need to go." She sat near the front. After a long silence, she whispered, "Thank you for not making me feel small." Tomás didn't answer. He kept driving. What he didn't know was that someone else was watching. Helping someone doesn't prepare you for the silence that comes after. We expect something to happen, a sign, a reward, at least reassurance. But most of the time, nothing happens. A few days later, Tomás was informed of a change. New schedule. Longer route. Night shifts. It wasn't an official punishment, it was something worse. Slow exhaustion. Tomás understood the message clearly. Empathy wasn't part of the rules. The nights were long. The bus was often empty. And the silence was heavy. That's when the questions arrived. Did I do the right thing? Was it worth it? Was I just naive? Helping someone shouldn't hurt this much. But it did. One rainy night, Tomás stopped at a bus stop where no one usually waited. That night, a young man stood there, soaked, cold, looking down at his empty pockets. Tomás felt the familiar pull and the familiar fear. He remembered the supervisor, the schedule change, the exhaustion. For a brief moment, he almost closed the door, not because he didn't care, but because he was tired of paying the price alone. That scared him more than any punishment. He opened the door. "Get in," he said. "You don't have to explain," the young man whispered. "Thank you." But this time, Tomás didn't feel relief. He felt tired, and a painful question echoed in his mind. How much does it cost to stay human in a system that doesn't value it? Later that night, Tomás reread the letter from the elderly woman. She had written, "I was a teacher for 40 years. Small gestures hold people up when everything else collapses. That day you held something in me." Tomás folded the letter carefully. Maybe the problem wasn't injustice. Maybe it was expecting fairness too quickly. At some point, Tomás stopped expecting anything back. He helped because it was who he was, not because it was rewarded. One ordinary day. Nothing special happened, and for the first time, that felt enough. He realized something no one had taught him. Not all stories end with applause. Some end with peace. Tomás no longer asked if it was worth it. He asked something else. Who would I be today if I had closed that door? The answer made him shiver. Because life isn't about winning or losing, it's about not losing yourself. A new driver once asked him, "Why do people wait for this bus when another one comes first?" Tomás smiled softly. "Because numbers don't get on this bus," he said. "People do." The company never apologized, never rewarded him, but they stopped moving him, and that was enough. Tomás placed a small note behind his seat. "I can't help everyone. but I will never ignore anyone. And every time doubt returned, he read it and kept going. Maybe life won't give you back what you gave, but it might give you something better. The certainty that you didn't betray yourself, and that lasts longer than applause.